Hello, I'm in a fit of rage with a costume, and I'm going to talk about something completely different so that I don't have to think about foam pauldrons right now. So, to not fall off the face of the earth for a month, I'm going to talk and I'm going to make series of videos where I just talk about whatever comes to my brain when it comes to cosplay if I am deep in a project, which right now I am. I've been yelling, I'm sorry. Today I want to talk about the fast fashion problem that cosplay has, right? Because cosplay has a pretty it's gotten bad fast fashion problem. It's like, regular fast fashion where they'll like no outfit repeating. There's this concept of you can't rewear a costume to convention that some people have in their minds as a rule that they set for themselves, which is weird. Please don't do that. You can rewear costumes all you want. But I want to talk about it today. I want to talk about one, where this kind of comes from, where I watched it come from, and two, why it's completely okay to rewear costumes and why you should be rewearing costumes, because you definitely should be. It's so fun. So I'm going to talk about two aspects. I'm going to talk about making and buying. I'm going to go with buying first. I don't know much about buying anymore. I used to buy costumes when I was like 13, but I have like 2 bought costumes. Making I know more, but okay, I'm going to go a little bit into buying. So we know that cosplay, just like fast fashion, is widely available now. You can go on Amazon and buy a whole Demon Slayer outfit for like $50. Now, obviously quality is going to be questionable here because one, that person who made it is overworked and underpaid, and we know that, and we know fast fashion is a huge problem. But you also have to remember that the quality of a garment is going to be reflected in the price. You can't buy a $20 cosplay and think that it's going to last for more than maybe a half a day at a con. My rule of thumb for anything is don't go for the cheapest, go for the mid-tier option. Unless it's lining fabric, then you go to Fabric Wholesale Direct. Okay, but cosplay itself, right? Because it's so widely accessible, a lot of people want to get all the costumes everywhere, and there's like trends. Cosplay, just like fashion, goes through trend cycles. Trend cycles are very fast. It used to be, Homestuck was popular for like 4 years, and then it was like My Hero Academia for like 3 years, and now it's like, oh, now Genshin's popular. Oh, Demon Slayer came out, now Demon Slayer's popular. Oh, we had Loki Mania for that one time when Loki series came out, Dragon Con in 2021. That was a wild experience. Right? We have trend cycles. Now, some trend cycles are exciting because people can bring out old costumes. Like the Loki one brought out a lot of old or new Loki cosplayers, and it was a lot of like, you could wear suits, but also it made everything canon. Everything is canon in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. You can do anything and it's canon. Okay, bye. Yes, your crossovers are valid. So, but everything was just trend cycling, and it's still a thing. Like now, trend cycles, and it was Genshin Impact, right? And now we're in just Genshin Impact world, plus like every other time like a new Marvel movie comes out, right? Again, trend cycles. And so people find these trend cycles to be exciting because social media, right? TikTok really picks up on trend cycles. Now, somebody who cosplays from mostly just like old sci-fi or Lord of the Rings, I don't know trend cycles, so I'm a little out of the loop on the whole TikTok thing, but I know that there's a whole bunch of cosplayers. I guess not a whole bunch, but there are some cosplayers who will treat cosplay like fast fashion, like Instagram influencers who don't outfit repeat. There's no cosplay repeating. You buy a cosplay, you wear it for TikToks, you wear it for one convention, and then it's done. You can't rewear it. Why? I don't know. Why? But it's a thing. And it's not a great thing. And I know it's not a great thing. It's the opposite of it's the opposite of a great thing because one, these cosplays aren't cheap. I know that you Genshin, like the people who buy Genshin cosplays, those aren't cheap. And there are people who have like 6 or 7 of these. You guys are crazy. 1, 2. I mean, you can do whatever you want with your money, but like, just remember that you aren't doomed to wear a costume once and then never wear it again. There are more cons, and if you feel bad about wearing it to a con in your state, go to the one in the next state, right? Cons, there's so many cons everywhere. Why is there a pressure to do this? Well, with social media, everyone always wants the new thing every time, all the time, right? They always want you to do a new thing. If you're known for a cosplay, people will always go under those videos and be like, oh, you should cosplay this, you should cosplay that, and it's fine to do cosplay suggestions. Just know that a lot of the time cosplayers don't take those just because everyone has their own aesthetic, but there's this weird innate need to do new stuff all the time, especially on TikTok. Like cosplay reveals get super a lot of likes, and like cosplay crafting videos, not as many. People want the new stuff. They don't want to watch you hand bead stuff for 40 hours straight. I've learned. But it makes it hard. It makes it really hard to keep up with stuff, especially as more and more cosplayers want to do this a lot. They want to really do the internet thing. They want to do the TikTok thing. They want to do the Instagram thing. And so you have to keep up with trends. It's either really you keep up with trends or you do extreme crafting, and a lot of cosplayers want to keep up with the trends. And that will make people buy a lot of fast fashion cosplay from Amazon to post a few pictures and then just never wear again. How do we fix this issue? Well, there is not a fix. I don't know what the fix is. I am a singular human being just pointing out some flaws in the world of cosplay because I want to, because I don't like seeing costumes just get destroyed or things being thrown away. Now, if you indeed have a bunch of costumes sitting in your closet, there are buy and sell groups. There's a whole bunch of buy and sell cosplay groups. You can literally be like, hey, I have like 5 costumes in this size. Somebody's gonna buy them from you. And then you also get kind of your money back because these things are not cheap. I know they're not cheap. I bought cosplays in the past before. I bought them in 2013 when they were still not crazy expensive. They've doubled in price, man. Let's talk about the concept of needing a new costume made for every convention. And if you're somebody who goes to a lot of conventions, that's a lot of work. So, there is an innate pressure, there's always been an innate pressure to do new debuts in cons. This is a thing that I feel every time I'm at a con, every time I'm like, oh, I should have debuted a new costume. I'm not debuting a new costume today. Now, I've learned that upgrades are just as valid. For me, to make myself feel accomplished about debuting a new thing, I just have to upgrade a thing like once, and then I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Or like add a new thing, add a new prop, add a new staff, but there is this pressure to every Saturday, show up to the con with your new big fancy costume. This happens sometimes. As a competitive cosplayer, I do most of the time debut new stuff on Saturdays because I'll take those things to competitions, and then if they win, then they're no longer a competition cosplay because they have a major award, right? But if they don't win, then you can take it to more cons. So, now this innate pressure to make everything all the time can lead to some pretty bad decisions, right? We know the hot glue costumes that just get glued together without taking it through a sewing machine and then those fall apart. The thing is that you don't want to make your costume go fast because then it's gonna not last. As the years have grown, as I have grown as a cosplayer, have learned that I like to take my time on things and really be thorough. I like being thorough. I like making things last for a lot of cons. So my best achievement is still going on about 12 cons now. I have a still suit that I made from Dune, held together with hot glue, but because I took a lot of precautions, it's still holding. It's still together. It's been 12 conventions. Some are in August in the heat. So you want to make your costume last. You don't want to just make a costume once and let it fall apart because that is your hard work. With the making of costumes and the innate need to always have new costumes, a lot of people also overbuild. Now, this is one of the reasons why I stopped doing like weekly crafting stuff, because it made me overspend on fabric. Now I have an insane amount of fabric that I have to stash bust eventually, and an insane amount of random things that I don't really have a use for because I just made them because it felt like I had to for conventions or just for like videos or TikTok videos. And yeah, no, I have learned that spending time on a thing and then bringing it to a thing feels much better than spending a week on a thing, knowing that it's kind of shoddy because your seams were finished with very large stitches, your lining job is weird and whack, and you just don't like half of it. How do we fix the innate need to always have new stuff? We don't. As a cosplayer, my project list is currently miles long, and I'm still going through remakes of stuff. This is a thing that happens. This is a hard thing that happens, is the need to always make new stuff. The thing that I like to do is I like to split it up into things. If I want to have that fancy new costume for a convention in the near future, I will make draft number 1. Take it maybe to the competition. Be like, I'm gonna take this on stage. This is draft 1. I did this with my King Thranduil, the one that I spent 9 months on. Every few months I check in. I had the first one, I was like working on it for 5 months straight. Took it to its first competition, like a circuit competition, right? Competed it, got feedback. Now, I don't have to remake an entire new costume. I can remake parts. I can add to it. Because I hadn't made pants, I hadn't made stabs, I had made stuff, so I could still work on the same costume, and I wasn't, like, going crazy, and I still had new stuff for the next con to debut. Yay, that's my strategy, is remaking stuff. What happens to the old stuff? Sometimes it gets chucked, ripped apart, thrown away. Not really thrown away, I try not to throw away stuff, but, like, sometimes it goes into the angry bin. I rip it apart for parts, I do other stuff with it, and sometimes you can sell them. I wear them again, and I just have different versions of the same costume to wear so that you never know what's gonna happen. So let's talk about rewearing costumes. This is a thing that everybody does. You are not banned from you are not banned from rewearing the same costume to multiple conventions. A lot of people love wearing the same costume to multiple conventions. I do it all the time. I am known as a Loki, I'm known as the Paul Atreides, I'm known as the King Thranduil in my state, because I am the one who wears the same King Thranduil, the same Paul, the same Loki to every single, like, I swear, I think I've worn one of those costumes to every convention. And I've worn most of my costumes at least 3 times, 4 times. I consider it a success if it can get to 5 cons without having to do fixes or edits. That's a successful cosplay to me, if I don't have to fix it for 5 cons. So that's like the baseline. I go to a lot of conventions though, and I also use these things for videos, right? So cosplay can feel time-consuming and like wasteful with the space that you have in your house, because it just sits there until you put it on for a day and it just sits there again. Or you put it on for photo shoot and it just sits there, but at the same time, that's kind of how it always is gonna feel. But rewearing stuff is a really exciting thing. And I find the more I rewear costumes, the happier I am in them. I find wearing costumes hard. New costumes, you never know what's gonna fit, what's gonna not fit, what's gonna hurt by the end of the day. When you rewear a costume, you know what fits, you know what doesn't fit, you know where you're gonna hurt by the end of the day. Your feet are probably gonna hurt. Your hands, maybe your crown stabs you in the forehead. I don't have a dent in my forehead right now. Right? A whole bunch of stuff. And that's really great, because then you know what to expect, because a lot of the cons, when you wear new stuff, you're like, I don't know what to do. And then you get overwhelmed, and then suddenly you are paralyzed, and you're like, bro, what am I supposed to do? But when, you wear the costume a few times, you're like, I'm gonna feel pain here, and it's gonna be fine. And it's great. So that's one plus of rewearing all of your costumes, is you know what to expect. Number 2, you put a lot of hard work into this. You spent either a lot of money, or you put hundreds of hours into this costume. Why would you not wear it twice? Why would you not wear it 4 times? I put so much time in my still suit, and I said, I'm gonna wear that thing till it falls apart. Now the chest piece is beginning to fall apart after a year and a half of wearing it. But you put so much time and effort into this costume, you put so much of your money into this costume, go wear it. Go wear it with pride, right? Like, this is super great. Wear it all the time. My Loki costume got so much wear because of how proud I was of it when I first made it. I was like, I did this. Look at me. These are your favorite characters. I bet you're not... I mean, okay, people do cosplay characters that they don't enjoy for group cosplays, but this is one of your favorite characters, right? Enjoy the moment of being this character. You don't have to be this character once, then never again. I have a Legolas costume I made in 2020, which is of mediocre quality that I still wear because it's so fun, right? You have the ability to wear these costumes all the time. No one's stopping you. There's no weird social rules. You're allowed to be this character. There are people at cons that you probably recognize. You're like, oh, you're that guy every time that wears the exact same costume every time. Very important. Very important. Those people are staples. My voice is dying. It's very humid out today. Sorry. Okay, but yeah, you made this costume. You bought this costume. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of time. You are allowed to wear it. No one's stopping you. Now, if somebody comes up to you and is like, oh, you wore that costume last con, I don't think it matters. It really doesn't matter. I'm dead serious. It doesn't matter what other people are saying. Now this is where things get a little murky. So this is sort of the end of my little ramble on fast fashion. And cosplay. One, great, Rewear Costumes. That's kind of the gist of this video, except competition is a whole different story. So I am probably going to make an entire video on cosplay competitions and like the unwritten weird rules, and some of them I agree with, some of them I don't, but one of them, yeah, that I do kind of agree with, that there's nuance, is sandbagging. So sandbagging is the rewearing of an award-winning costume. Now, if your costume has won a Best in Show and there's another local con that's of the same size or smaller, don't rewear that costume to like a local con. Like, you can compete it up, you can rewear that costume and take it to bigger competitions. Like, I don't know, if you win at a local con, go take it to like bigger con, and then go take it to like a international, right? Like, you got options, right? But don't just go around winning a bunch of awards in your local hometown with the same costume, especially if you don't make changes in between. Like, if you make changes, there's nuance to that too. Just email people, be like, hey, I made changes, does this still count? You know, it's in the rules, read the rules, follow the rules. But like, the one time Rewearing Costumes is not great is if you have won a giant award or a big award and you go take it to another of the same size, smaller, just to win awards. That's weird. And people will call you out on it. People are like, they know who sandbags, they know who don't. But that is not a topic for this video. For this video, it is just walking the halls. So, Rewear Costumes, don't go for the low quality stuff. If you can afford it, go for the mid-tier quality stuff, or the high quality if you want. You also don't need 50,000 costumes. It's really exciting to wear costumes again. I hope you enjoyed this talky video that I did. I am trying to do more of this. I'm currently knee-deep in a project, which is almost done. I'm so close. Which is my Emperor Paul Atreides, which I've talked about for like 6 months now. I'm just doing the foam part. I hate it. If you want to see more, if you want to see me build stuff, actually, for once, you can subscribe. I will try to upload maybe weekly. It's kind of not working, but it's getting better. And yeah, if you want to see other types of this video, like, let me know. I will do more talkie videos. This is just to let you know that I am still here. I am still trying to do this. I am just struggling to get a costume done. Like I said, I want to take my time on these costumes. I don't want to knock out a costume in a week. I'll try to separate them into parts, maybe. That might help. Okay, actually, bye. You can subscribe. Cool.